Hey there, welcome to The Hot Slice, the weekly podcast brought to you by Pizza Today magazine. I'm your host, Jeremy White, editor-in-chief of Pizza Today, joined by none other than Miss Denise Greer, our esteemed executive editor.
Why,
Hey, Denise.
hello, Jeremy. Hello.
She's even speaking esteemedly.
I am. And you know what? It is right now, let's say mid-September. And man, we're getting ready for some really exciting times in the pizza industry. So I'm jazzed. I'm jazzed.
This is my favorite time of year in general, personally speaking. I have a birthday this time of year. I have a wedding anniversary this time of year. There are things going on that so I'm a sports fanatic, and all the sports are happening right now. So you have Major League Baseball playoffs, you have college basketball getting ready to start, you have college football, NFL. So this time of year just really gets me going. But for the pizza industry, it's also a huge, massive, important time of year as well.
Absolutely, it is. We've got National Pizza Month. I'll give it a little plug. Make sure that you go to our toolkit, which you're going to see in the show notes, to get some ideas on how you can celebrate National Pizza Month, because it's going to be pretty awesome. And then we have one huge pizza event happening in October that I hope everybody comes out to. Pizza and Pasta Northeast in Atlantic City. We've already got our tickets. We've got the hotels. We're all ready to go.
We're ready to go. And attendance for this event, I monitored some of the numbers the other day. I took a sneak peek. Attendance is really, really strong for this show. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There are going to be a lot of outstanding pizzeria owners from around the country, but heavily Northeast, of course. It's a Northeast event, but can be a lot of great pizza people there. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it, Denise.
I am too, and I'm really looking forward to one of our keynotes that we happen to have on the show today. So how did you make this happen? Because he's one of our own and we love him to death, and he's just got so much going on. So how did you get him?
So John Gutekanst is the speaker in question. He will be delivering a keynote address at Pizza and Pasta Northeast. John is the owner of Avalanche Pizza in Athens, Ohio.
And Slice Shop.
And Slice Shop, that's right. He contributes to Pizza Today magazine. He MCs the International Pizza Challenge at Pizza Expo in Las Vegas. He's just a well-rounded, versatile, amazing pizzeria maker, pizzeria owner. He's got a great, thriving business. He bakes. He has a creative menu. He's a creative individual. He spent a lot of time in really high-end restaurants. It's kind of where he cut his teeth. So he brings that perspective into the pizza shop each day. Every time I talk to John or read something he has written, I learn, I grow, I develop, I become more knowledgeable in this industry. He's just a wealth of information, and John's a little flamboyant. He's a little, he gets excited, he gets passionate, and he puts that on full display, which I can appreciate because I got a little bit of that in me as well. And I can appreciate that. But John is super entertaining, as you well know, Denise. So his keynote address, it's going to be a must attend at Pizza and Pasta Northeast, because you're going to be entertained and you're going to learn.
Absolutely. And let's just talk about his thirst for knowledge. He is constantly looking at new ways of doing things, new approaches, new ingredients to use, how to source more things locally, how to, where to find things. He's on the hunt all the time. And so I can't wait to see him bring that energy and be able to share that with attendees, because I think they're gonna have their little notepads out taking notes.
Well, and this movement that has become so prevalent today of sourcing local ingredients, what's fresh, what's in season, what's grown, harvested nearby. That's such a trend, such a huge part of the food industry in general right now, not just pizza. John really was at the forefront of that. I mean, a really long time ago, he was working with local Amish farmers in his community, who were growing spelt, which is an ancient grain, and he was utilizing that in his pizza crust and in his dough formula. Mushrooms, just so many things that John has really been a leader and kind of has helped push the industry through his leadership, leading by examples, kind of help push the pizza industry in that direction. And a lot of that does come back to John kind of being a progressive visionary and moving in that direction himself.
Yeah. And I can tell you that every time I either read from him or hear from him, there is always an ingredient or a process or something that I have never ever heard of. And I'm like, so what's that? Hang on, tell me more. Because and he, true to form, he did it during this podcast.
He's super creative. And also, look, Denise, you and I are writers and editors. We are professionals. This is how we make our living, and I don't brag. We're really good at what we do.
Yeah.
Having said that, I am jealous of John's, every time he submits an article to us, the headlines, the subheads as he introduces a new topic, the creativity is off the charts. And I have a feeling a lot of people who read the magazine think maybe as editors, you or I write those.
Nope.
I wish I did.
I could be that.
I am so jealous of his creativity and the things he comes up with. And I'm like, I wish I thought of that. John's brilliance is off the charts.
He is a pun monster, man. He just he knows what he's doing. And I'm so jealous of his ability to do that. But I think we should just get him on the show, because
get him in here.
It's a longer podcast, so it's he's just sharing a lot of knowledge. So let's hop
Ladies and gentlemen, John Gutekanst.
Bacio is celebrating its 10-year anniversary, a decade of exceptional Italian pizza cheese, unmatched consistency, and partners that have become family. If you haven't had the chance to try it, purchase Bacio today and enroll in the Gold Club to receive cash back for every pound you buy. That's right, get rewarded for every single pound of cheese purchased. Schedule a demonstration at baciocheese.com/hotslice to learn more. Pizza is your legacy. Build it with Bacio. Looking to grow your pizzeria or restaurant? Then you'll want to try the power of a cloud-based POS system. With Hunger Rush, you'll get everything you need. This fully integrated restaurant management system allows you to easily streamline operations, accelerate the delivery process, and grow your business through Hunger Rush 360 marketing. And it's so easy to use. Want AI-powered text ordering? It's built in. Need to track orders? No problem. Schedule a personalized demo at hungerrush.com today. Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high-quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide.
John, you're so creative in the kitchen. I always, read your art, marvel as I read your articles at the creativity of some of the things you pull off. But before we get to some of the more complex stuff, I did want to talk to you about your baking. You're involved in your farmers market locally, where you sell loaves of bread that you bake on, I think, Fridays, right? Can you talk a little bit about that process and what got you into baking, instead of just turning out pizzas all day long?
Yeah. Well, I think it was actually 2006. I went to our farmers market. It's named as the Audubon Society named us as one of the 10 best farmers markets in the country.
Oh wow!
And it's busy. It's cranking. There's some people there who making some.
I've been to it.
Smart ones are making really good farming bucks. Anyway, I saw this baker there, and I was like, wow, I could do that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I did. And I just started, and it's gotten to the point now since 2006 till now that I really, it takes up a lot of my week, but it's really great. I'm able to use a lot of local stuff.
Yeah.
We have a local mill, so I use local grains. I can experiment with lots of other stuff. And we sell out, and we're still selling out like a half an hour before it closes.
Wow, that's
So
nice.
And when you say sell out, how many loaves are we talking about?
We counted once at about 450 pieces,
What?
475 pieces of bread, flat. I hate the word flatbreads. Flatbreads, breads. Now I'm really getting into the Roman style pizzas, the pizza biancos and stuff like that. And it's a lot of fun, but it's a real tough bake because I go in about 9:30 at night and bake till like 8, and then carry it all down there, and that's setting up a tent and getting everything health wise done, and then just selling it off with a couple people. And I've got my son actually prepping for me earlier in the night, which is really cool too.
Yeah, what a hustle. Hey, what flowers are you? I know that you'd gotten some spelt, I think, from a local Amish farmer that you had played with. What other flowers are you utilizing?
Well, now we're using red fife.
Oh, yeah.
I've got Kernza. Now Kernza, I was on the wave of that. I wanted to be the first pizzeria in America to do the Kernza thing. And that, of course, being in small markets, the other thing is you don't have much press that covers you, because then they came out and they said, "Oh, this Chad guy at Tartine is making Kernza." Blah, okay, whatever. But the Kernza is the perennial wheatgrass, and I'm really excited about that. Now, what happened was there's a Steve Coleman, who's a professor up at OSU Worcester, Ohio, who's growing it in conjunction with the Land Institute out in Kansas.
Oh, wow.
And these roots are 10 to 15 feet long. Okay. And all you have to do is show a farmer that and say, this plant will come up 6 to 7 years in a row. Keep coming up. You don't have to plow it. You don't have to do anything. And talk about something that would save the world. That truly is the way things should be going. But instead, we're plowing. The dust goes out. You have to fertilize everything. And I was surprised, actually, the reaction I got from a lot of pizza makers. You'll see these people like on Netflix. Oh, I'm a forager and I'll do this and blah, 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 blah. But like, well, what's your base? I mean, is your base sustainable? I mean, you're using Manitoba wheat, and right now they're literally, and this practice is horrible. They are spraying, so to get a quick harvest on the grains, they're spraying with Roundup, so it kills the plant so they can harvest it faster. And I'm just like, my gosh, what's going on?
Now with this Kernza, what makes it so special as far as the flavor, and its uses and kind of how you're able to use it?
Yeah, that is a great question, because therein lies the rub. Okay. It's smaller than a kernel of wheat. Okay. And what they're doing is selective farming. And they've gotten it to a larger wheat berry now. And it grows a lot taller. So you've got a lot of breakdown too. So harvesting it is really a little rough, especially when deer go in there and they bed down for the night. So it falls down. Now, the other problem is corporatization of this. So what happened was Steve with some guys came up with puffed Kernza. And it's so caramely and so freaking great, like coffee caramel. And these Kernza puffs were just perfect. In Minnesota it's popping like crazy. Patagonia Provisions is using it in beer, and they're using it in bars and stuff like that. So the other problem with Kernza is it's got a really high protein content, but its extensibility is terrible. Okay. So we worked with it, and it's like, oh, let's just throw in some gluten, some straight up gluten, and that'll help, which some bakers are doing with the Kernza. But I'm like, no, let's go the opposite way. We're doing pizza. So we started doing 20% hydrated dough, which is insane.
20%?
What?
Just to get someone to need that, they're like, "Are you sure, John? I need to add some more water." I'm like, "Don't add any more water." So we used baking powder instead of yeast.
Okay.
And we ran it at 600 degrees, and it was the most delicious cracker crust you ever tasted in your life. So
a nice little thin crust, cracker
caramel.
crust.
Yes. Oh, so good.
Hot right now.
So some of these really ancient grains, I have always been told by bakers are really thirsty, need a lot of water, and so here you are with 20%. I mean, what are you just getting out the little dropper and just put a few drops in? That's insane to me.
That's the whole thing is sometimes it even crack, but you just put the crack back together again, and it still makes up. So you're cool.
Wow.
But, we had really into that with Peter Reinhardt has been a big hero of mine, and he's all for the he's doing he started doing the ancient grains and stuff like that. So,
yeah. Peter's an outstanding resource, no doubt.
Yes.
Hey, while we're on the subject of Peter, let's talk about the flour. That we're doing the flour blends at Pizza and Pasta Northeast.
Yeah.
What are some things that you're excited to talk about in that presentation?
Do you know? Oh God. First off, my wife says, "What? So you're going to be on a panel with Peter Reinhardt, like alone?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "I'm like." She's like, "Here, that's a death wish, man."
I think you can keep up with him just fine.
You can't BS that much, John. You're going to be like stuttering and stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, you know what?"
I think you got it.
I think you're going to nail it.
Yeah.
I think you're going to nail it.
Well, I love just his total exuberance. His Peter is just, he's so into stuff, and I love the way his terminologies are. Like he had a TED talk that's on YouTube, and it's really cool. At the end, when he talks about the dying, you're building something to live, and it's living and living, and then you're killing it.
Yeah.
It's why they call it the staff of life. So so that you can live. And really like that. And he was talking about they used to have gruel eaters. I mean, literally before bread they would eat gruel. And I guess there's the tribes in the Palestinian area of Israel used to eat gruel, and as the Egyptians around them and stuff like that had bread, they would look down upon them as gruel eaters. So
wow,
that's crazy.
I think about that every time I eat a bowl of oatmeal.
How did you get so interested in the history of food? Because when you write your food articles for Pizza Today magazine, you generally delve pretty deep into the in 1691 someone fell down at the bottom of the well, and there happened to be this root growing down there, and they ate it and they didn't die, and now it's on pizza. What got you into the history of food and where it originated and where it came from?
Oh, it's so fascinating that we're so myopic in our little areas where we're doing stuff, and it's just like, ooh, anchovies, but people have been eating anchovies forever. I remember I opened a restaurant at the Copley Plaza Hotel, and they found old menus in there from 1912. They hated lobster because lobster's a cannibal. They wouldn't eat lobster, but they would eat terrapin, which is the turtle, and they loved it. So things just change around a lot, and I find that fascinating, really fascinating. Just the history, especially of grains. I mean, when you look at it. Like I see the Amish out there with their 4 Clydesdales using the 16th century thing to cut spelt with, and then they stack it in a pile like that, and let it dry out like that. It's like, this is insane.
Yeah.
And it's just such a lot of work, but it's what we've been doing for a long time, and I really just that connection there. It's you feel that connection. Where and the pizza industry is probably the worst at it. It's like, no, I'm sticking down my little lanes, and anyone who goes outside that lane, be it pineapple or this or that, is dumb and I'm not going to follow them or whatever, you know. So it's a lot. And seeing that, I see that a lot in the competition realm, where you have the hardest thing is the traditional competition areas, where I thought to myself, I'm like, hold it, this guy's using the same flour, he's using the same sauce, tomatoes, and the same cheese as that guy. How are you ever distinguish yourself?
Right.
Just tell them you made, mill your own flour, make your own cheese. I'm really into that now.
You're making your own cheese?
Yeah, I have a fig tree now, and I tried this before and it didn't turn out well. But you take a fig branch and it's milky, and it's a natural rennet. You've got to use a lot, I found out last time.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to make some cheese with that. So
I'm
making crescentua now, which is a combination of yogurt, cream, and milk, and you leave it out for 12 to 24 hours, and then you add a little bit of rennet in there, and it creates this beautiful cheese that they make pizza. There's a pizza in Genoa, Italy, that they make with that. And focaccia di Recco, they call it focaccia di Recco. And someone actually competed in Vegas. They had focaccia di Recco. I couldn't believe it. And some of the judges didn't know what it was. It's sad. But it's basically just that cheese put on 2 thin layers and then baked off in the oven. And people will line up and get their slice nice and hot. It's just beautiful, magnificent.
That sounds outstanding. The creativity that we see, just that you had just alluded to, even in the traditional division, every year someone just comes through and blows our minds with creativity. You see it all because you're often back there watching over it, emceeing.
Yeah.
What things have you noticed that lead to success in that event?
I'll tell you what, and I wrote about it. It's just go in like a Viking. Go in like a freaking Viking, man. You know what? Do what you've been doing, but put it on hyperdrive. Tell everyone what you're doing. Don't just say this is the dough we use. No. Bring. I've seen people bring dough and stick it in the judges' faces. Smell that. That's the smell of my fermentation. And I got my starter from this and that. And seeing that stuff, I saw pistachio crusted pizza from a guy in California, and it was amazing. Amazing looking. And that's kind of what a lot of the judges are looking for now, is that crust. They hit that first, and then just the cheese companies, I know they're big and everything, and they sponsor people and they use the cheeses and stuff. I'd like to see more done with cheeses. There's so many cheeses out there, and Havarti, I'm really into Havarti. And oh gosh, Gruyere, I love Gruyere. And we went in the oldest fondue place in Geneva, Switzerland once. And it was all wood on the inside. And my good buddy who was with me, we walked in the door, it was really small, and he's like, "It smells like ass in here." And then the bartender's like doing his glasses. He's like, "Yes, sir." And we all speak English here too. So embarrassed. I was like, "Oh, God."
What a great story. John, if you were going to compete in the International Pizza Challenge in Las Vegas, let's say you're not going to MC, you're just going to jump in and compete. 2-part question for you. Which division would you choose to compete in? And then B, what creation would you bestow upon the judges?
Oh, gosh. I would love to do the traditional.
Yeah.
And then do a whole wheat crust or a spelt crust or actually even a Kernza crust, something like that. And then just take all of decompose everything. Just make a sauce out of the green peppers and make a topping out of the tomatoes, smoked tomatoes. First, you can use tomato skins. Tomato skins are beautiful when you dehydrate them, and they're crispy and everything like that. And just like turn it all around on its head. And like Chris Tricarci, who's my managing partner, he comes and I'm like, how'd it go? He judges. He's in the back, tasting, and he's just like, it's just, I wish they just get off the same old stuff and shock us. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for something. Like,
yeah.
oh, cool. Oh, piece of crap. Oh, sorry, but
yeah.
Those things are really exciting because there are actually people doing those, and it's they're using. I mean, for an example, we've had basil pesto since we opened. Okay, and we use this Armanino basil pesto, is really good. But we add water to it because you know what? It burns in a conveyor ovens by itself. So by adding water, it distributes beautifully on a pizza. And then in our slice house, we add extra virgin olive oil to it. Okay, and the oil, and we shake it up, and then it separates. But you've got this beautiful basil oil that's on top of it now that we put on our pizzas. Wow, I mean, that's something spectacular.
That's awesome. What now? Here's the big question for you right now with your shops is what special do you have running right now, and how'd you come up with it?
What's it named? Because
I know what's it named?
Crazy name for it.
We did. There was Death Cab for Cutie was playing at one of the festivals here, and so I had and this just came right out of the blue. My son's class, they started talking about this viral video that went on about a pickled pizza, and I'm like, and so the teacher called me. They're like, you guys are going to bring some pizza. I usually feed the schools a lot, and you guys are going to bring some pizza. Could you add some pickled pizzas there, Toad? So we did a pickle pizza, and it's got potatoes on it, thin crust, and it's just beautiful pickles. I mean, pickles and provolone mozzarella mix is just delicious.
Yeah.
And you've got that crunch. So we did it, and then we just put it out there as Death Pickle for Cutie.
That's on pizzatoday.com, that exact recipe. So if y'all want it, it's on pizzatoday.com.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And whoever thought that pickles would be we thought pickles were going to be a fad. Yeah. We thought, oh gosh, pickles, they're going to come and go. It's going to be
That's right. That's what awful. I thought.
No, they're here.
I love dill pickles. I love the flavor, the texture, but didn't know I'd love them on pizza the way I do. I really do love them on pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other lane we went down is the mushroom. There are mushroom fanatics out there. They're like the spicy fanatics,
Yeah.
It's a small little niche, but there's a lot of them in it. And some people just go, oh, you've got that mushroom pizza. We do a spectacular mushroom pizza, and it's we put a holy shiitake. Our mushroom pizzas here, and that along with like the anchovies. Usually about this time of year, we'll do an anchovy fest, whereas I'll get some really gnarly pictures of sailors on the interweb and put them in an ad and say, oh, the Athens fleet is back from their trip around the world catching anchovies. So, and I got this idea just because I have 3 places that I get my corporate food from. And so I had all different anchovies in the back, and I looked on the bottom. One was from Peru, one was from Morocco, one was from Spain, and one was from Italy,
Oh, wow.
And it's, I was like, wow, okay, well, so we ran with that, saying that they had been around the world and they're back now. They're in port. So they're offloading all the anchovies and we're putting them on pizza. So that was a fun thing.
That would be fun.
That's
I actually like
awesome.
Anchovies now. I never thought I would like anchovies, and somehow in my 30s I started liking them, and now I do like them a lot. And then you talk about mushrooms, so I know you're a forager. You like to go mushroom hunting.
Not just that
proposition for me, because I'm looking at it like, oh gosh, am I going to kill myself looking for mushrooms?
That's it. I try to stay with the regulars like lion's mane. We've got mushroom people actually growing stuff around here now too. Lion's mane, the morels, if you can find them. But I love chanterelles in the middle of summer here. They're so easily identifiable. And if it hasn't rained in a while, that hits sometimes the rain droplets will hit the dirt and it goes up onto the chanterelles. It's a pain in the butt to clean them. But I've worked in so many French restaurants that you know, the French go nuts for them, but you know, Americans will just walk right through them.
Yeah.
Is there anything better than a morel that's just been freshly picked and properly prepared? I mean, to me, that's I'm not a mushroom fanatic.
Oh, I am. I
speaking, but I love morels. Love them.
They're so good.
So
good.
I think we need to switch gears here because we got something we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah,
we
can't
need to talk about right now. That John's gonna be a keynote speaker at Pizza and Pasta Northeast. Can we
delivering the keynote? John's on the big stage with the bright lights.
Main stage.
Yeah, I hate
main stage. Now look, you talk in front of crowds all the time. You, like we talked about, you MC events at Vegas, so
you do demos.
You're not gonna be nervous. You're comfortable in the spotlight. But what are you gonna talk about, man?
I don't know. You know, a keynote is special keynotes really are. You've got to give. You've got to just give everything, because if you're going to tell them what not to do and how great you are, I think that's just kind of like we're all great, you know, and everyone in this industry is great. I really want to get pronounced on the small guys. Okay, you can see all these great people in these great markets where people will pay, you know, $27 for a small pizza and stuff like that. And I've got several. We're on the precipice of several different markets here, and I say markets, I mean people. Okay, I have highly educated people. I've got hippies. I've got hipsters. And I've got country people, and you know, they're all together. And if you can get them to start trying things, and if they trust you, if you get their trust, that's the key. And where they know I can go to Avalanche and I can get this kimchi on a pizza with provolone cheese and stuff like that. Wow, you know, I just love that. You know.
Yeah.
And so I like to ping on that. I like to be entertaining too.
You're going to be entertaining. I have no doubt.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I don't want to really go down the rabbit hole. I really enjoyed Chris Bianco's speaking. He's a very emotional guy.
And
he knows his stuff, and he's all about the local stuff, and so that's cool. I saw his thing on Netflix last night, and that was really cool. Really cool. So
what a treasure to the industry that he has been, and that he continues to be. No doubt about it.
Yeah. And
I have no doubt you're going to.
Story on Tony Gemignani was stellar.
Yeah.
I remember I went with him to look at that store.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a piece of shit.
Yeah. Everyone told me that. They're like, what? No.
Oh my God. Don't do it. Don't do it. How many restaurants have been here within the last year? 3? Oh, that's the kiss of death, man. But
they're like, his realtor, I believe, said, don't, or his broker, someone said, don't go there. That's not a good spot.
Yes.
Tony's like,
went across the street, street to different restaurants, and it was like, this is a dying place. This is dead. This is dead. This is dead. And the bums were really nice though in San Francisco. Really cool.
You know, I think with you, because a lot of people know who you are, because you know you're already a leader in the industry, and so you know, bringing it down to, you know, letting them know that you've been there, and you know, you have gone through, you know, trials, and you continue to go through things, because you know, you're a pizzeria owner. It's never ending for you guys. So you know, I think, you know, in your case and in Tony's case, you know, letting people that are the small shop owners, you know, I think something like 85% of our market own only one small store.
One pizzeria,
so, you know, that, I mean, breaking it down to who they are, I think is going to be pretty vital.
And that's, you know, that's just so, after what, 20 some odd years, I've been in business 22 years now. I just opened my last store during COVID, and that was like, oh, I gotta do this. Like big. There wasn't an L like this in my forehead. It was this big L walking around like, no one will talk to me. I see a plumber on the street. Hey, and they run. No parts. Sorry. I'm still waiting on an oven from Lincoln. It's $26,000, 30 weeks. I'm like, that's a baby, dude. That's like carrying a baby. And I had to pay up front. So it's just like, but the thing is, every time, and I mentioned this to my wife the other day, and I was like, 3:30 in the morning, I'm pissed off. I just burnt a batch of baguettes, and just like, and I'm cooking these pizzas, and then I look at the pizza, and I just say, my God, this is the best thing I've ever freaking done in my life. This is the culmination of, doing the dough on Wednesday night, letting it ferment, knead it again, knead it twice, bringing it out, proofing, just getting all of these forged ingredients together. This is the best freaking, and then tasting it, and then just looking around, and there's no one there. But you know what? There is someone there. It's you. It's just
you. You're there.
When you can say that and just go, I made this. This is
made it. It's mine.
Oh,
it's a process. I mean, do you feel like you have to become addicted, for lack of a better word? You have to fall in love with the process, because it is, even as creative as you are, John, and you're one of the most creative people I know in the kitchen, it's still repetitive. So if you don't love it's like, example I can translate, I enjoy lifting weights. I don't look like a power lifter, but I enjoy lifting weights, but it's repetitive. It's the same thing over and over again, but you kind of love the grind. You don't love the process, this industry is not for you.
It's so true. And on top of that, you get those, when you're in that grind and then something happens or someone does something really stupid, which, sometimes happens all the time. People don't have the same curvature of experience that you have. I tell my staff sometimes, these young people, I'm like, listen, I'm not going to be the pinball bumper in your life. Okay. I'm going to back up and you're going to fly by me, because I'm not going to even go there. So, but then I get, what's a pinball?
Well,
I mean, really,
you don't really see them around too much, except for some really cool old school
joints.
In an app.
Right? It's in an app on the phone. The pinball's in an app, right?
Right.
Have you seen the app? It's a hamburger place, and it's my kids play it, and they get slammed, and I'm like, I can't take this. And they're just 2 more burgers over here, and they've got their characters, and I'm like, no.
You're like, this is real life, kids.
My dream, my nightmare. Have you seen The Bear?
The Bear.
The movie The Bear? It's actually a series on Hulu.
No.
It's about a restaurant, a guy, a fine dining chef, and his brother gives him dies, and he inherits this Philly. It's a Chicago steak sandwich place on the south side of Chicago, and it's the same thing. There's so many chefs I've talked to. They're like, I couldn't watch it anymore because the stress level is
it's just too stressful.
I love it. Well, you're getting ready to go into your main stress, your main getting everything together, because tomorrow is when you really get your grind together for the farmers market.
Some really cool stuff. I'm going to do this thing, and it's insane. It's probably stupid, but at Nobu, they have I got the Nobu cookbook from way back. Anyway, he wicks. You know what wicking is? You take seaweed and you put it in between vegetables, and it imparts this umami taste in this freak. It's obvious. You can take one vegetable that you didn't wick and another one that you like, carrots, and you can just taste the difference.
Yeah.
So what he does is takes the seaweed and uses a little sake, because the alcohol is really good with it. And you rehydrate it, and then you wick vegetables on it. The Japanese do a vegetable that's like broccoli rabe, which is just imparts a lot of it, because there's a lot of areas for the seasoning to go in. I'm going to do it with a pizza romana, I think, or pizza bianco. Go in on the paddle and make a pizza that's about that big,
Mhm.
and cut it as soon as it comes out and put some of I have some long seaweed that I got, and I'm gonna kombu, and I'm gonna pop it in there and put the top back on and see how that imparts, pushes a little bit of the umami flavor in there. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's pretty cool.
Well, that sounds
Denise, you
amazing.
can't take the, John cut his teeth in really great restaurants around the world, Chicago hotels. You just can't take that out of John, can you?
No.
Well, that's
And he
what
makes
makes
me
it-
hungry every time I talk to him.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you so much, John, for coming on the show with us this
Oh,
morning.
I'm honored to have you guys.
We're honored to have you.
Yeah.
Every time we talk to you, A, it's a
Absolutely.
pleasure. B, it's entertaining. I get a good laugh. More importantly, I learn something every
time
I talk to you. I learn
Oh,
something.
thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Jamie. You
And
guys
we
are great.
cannot wait for your keynote. We're so
Excited.
excited. I'll be there front row. So
Oh, geez. Wear an apron.
Uh-oh.
Denise is gonna be in the splash zone.
Who's that one guy with the watermelon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a rain cape. I will wear that. How about that? It
Perfect.
fits over my bicycle.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Well,
All
guys, good luck with your prep for your keynote, and just keep being creative, John, because we love
Thanks.
to see it.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, John. We'll see you.
All
Peace
right.
out.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.